Hey, yeah, this is CT here. Gonna be doing another walkthrough guide on a different horrific this time. And this one's actually a pretty unique one since I beat this. This is my most recent horrific tower I've actually beaten. My friend Exotical verified it. It's called Tower Descending Towards Oblivion. It's basically a tower inspired off of Impending Doom. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk any further, or well, I mean, I'm still gonna show you all my strats for this tower, and yeah, hopefully it helps. Let's get into it. Okay, let me turn on brightness mode. I also have the music off for now since like I don't want it to interfere, but yeah. All right, for one. So it starts off pretty easy. Not much to say here. Do a walk around jump here. Just muscle memory here. The stick out to the truss. Point under the truss here. Do a flick like that. So yeah, most of the jumps in this tower I'm mostly gonna say is like kind of filler, since this is a consistency based Hori, so the raw isn't as bad as it normally would be in Horis. So yeah, switch to 60 for that truss, so you get like a bounce. One jump like that. Right here, and you're on the first GBJ. Onto the truss. You do flip like that. Onto the wedge, like that. 2 walk arounds. This I like to do a walk around jump in and then like use D like that. Straight flick like that. Tight wrap. Go on the truss. Flick to here. Make sure to walk to this slant like that, and then make sure at the lowest point here, and then do a jumps apart. Yep. Simple one jump to the truss. For this, when I step down, turn left, look like that, and lodge. Face like this, shift to the ladder. When I step down and flick. And voila, you're basically on 2 since this section of 1 is netted. Make sure to hold space on these parts. And then get momentum off. Do a bomb flick to the wedge. Jump to here. Whoopsies. There you go. Jump to button there. Do a flick to this part. Grab like this, and then you're on floor 2. First terrifying floor. It has 2 sides. It is definitely longer than floor 1, so make sure to have this floor down. As with every other Hori. Muscle memory to the truss like that. For this, I like to get my torso in like this with W with the top part. Go down to right here and then flick. Do a straight flick like this. Jumps apart. Jumps to the truss. Flick here. Make sure to get around this truss. I don't know why I should switch FPS. There we go. When I step down, flicks apart. Land on this. Go up to here. Flick off. It's gonna be timed. You're gonna avoid the wedge part and jump to the part platform. Long jump to his truss. When I step down, flick to the ladder. Long jump here. Another truss. You're gonna want to hit this yellow wall first, and then go on the red truss and flick through it. So like this, like that. And then you're on a break. You want to bomb flick from the bottom part like that. Do a wrap here. Long jump to truss. Shift under and flick around. Want to step down and then flick like this to the part. Wait for 0.1. Jump through. Make sure to face the truss like that. Get on the very corner. Space it down right around here. And then flick with D and turn around to a truss like that. Alright, these beat blocks have collision the entire time, so you don't need to worry about that. Just make sure to know where to go. Stick out. Wrap that. Go through here. Jump to the teleporter. Make sure to fit through this gap, and make sure to fit through this gap as well, like that. Get onto the indicate part, do downwards momentum like that. Jump to here, head hitter. And then make sure you're angled to the one of the gaps like this. 2B. I'll jump to here. Get ready to know where to go after this red part. You're gonna jump straight to the truss like that. Muscle memory. Make sure to hold space for this, and then jump into the wall, land back, and then jump through to here. I'll jump to this, jump here, go here. This, you're gonna do a wrap around like that. This is just muscle memory. I prefer doing it on the left like this. Like that, that's how I usually do it. When you go on this button, it's gonna teleport you back to the start of 2B, but you're gonna go this way instead. Jump onto, what am I doing, dude? Let me redo that. Give me a second. That's why you gotta be prepared. Glide through like that. There we go, much better. I don't know what I was doing. Go on this truss. When I set down, flip to this truss without jumping. Switch to 60. Bounce off. Line like this. I'll jump. Make sure you're in the middle of that yellow part and then just jump straight up and then W at the end. Align kind of this far out and then kind of turn into the truss like that because it's kind of covered by the wedge. You're gonna land on that wedge back there, so I like to align here, turn left, and then do a straight flick and turn right like that. W and A, 1D tap, and then do a wrap like that. Line in the middle, long jump to a truss like that. And you're basically on 3 since 2 is netted from here on out. Walk around, let's grab, go down a bit, bounce, go on the wedge, step down. Okay, 4-3 is also going to be slightly harder and longer. Gonna flick to this wedge here. Yeah, I climb the wedge here, bounce to the part, walk around, jump up. This is just get used to it. I switched to 60 though. Get used to it, just flick around like this and then bounce. Flick away a bit and then long jump. Jump off sideways like that. Align far out. Jump to the truss. And then make sure to bottom flick. Alright, this is unsafe. Simple filler, line far out. Just like that. Editor. Turn out to right a bit. And then tap D to the corner. Bounce like that. Straight flick like this. I'll jump to the ladder. Downwards momentum. When it's tapped down, flick to the wedge. What the heck? Hold on. There we go. Alright, this is netted. Yeah, make sure to time this jump well, like that. Bounce like that. Long jump to the truss. And yeah, there we go. Okay, bottom flick from here. Long jump and wrap. Wrap like that. Okay, back to unnetted. Like this. I'll jump to the part up here, jump up. Yeah, like I said, most of these jumps are just filler. It's just having the consistency down. Hold space on this, and then get the momentum. Whenever you use these parts, by the way, make sure you're not at the very edge. You might just lose momentum doing that. This is timed. Jump to here, and then jump to the truss. Do a straight flip like this. Jump to this part. What the heck? Much better. Muscle memory. There you go. Editor on that side. flick out a bit, and then switch to 60. Now it's momentum. Line like that. Jump to here. Getting closer to done with 3. This is probably the most awkward section of it, though. Space. Jump to here. Head hitter. Okay, this part's probably the weirdest part of the floor. I do it like this. I step down, flick, turn right, and then dummy space like that. Switch to 60, be around this high, D, and turn like that. Grab like this, turn backwards, and then do that camera control. S and A, W and A. Split wrap. Jump like that. Walk around, jump that, and then do a straight flick. Last part of 3. Do a straight jump here. Jump to the struss. Straight flick on this side. Jump out straight like that. Shift in. I switched to 90 for this. Bounce, and then long jump. Hold space on this part. Like I said, make sure you're not at the very edge, but just close enough, and then lay time to the part like that. Align like this, turn, and then jumps and wrap. Align like that. There we go. Align right here, and then do a diagonal flick, and then wrap. And then you're on 4. This first half of 4 is netted, but the second half will not be. This is a straight flick, like that. Jump to the truss, W and A through. I'll jump here, A onto this wedge. Bounce, one jump. You can also bounce if you want. What am I doing? So one jump, there we go. Yeah, make sure to jump to that. Jump to here. Just have to watch this truss like that. Go to the very bottom and bomb flick to the top order. For this, I flick out just a little bit. Go down here, 60, W space. W space shift. Jump to here, jump to here, down here. Yeah, make sure on the edge of that and jump to the truss. And then bomb flick right here, like that. This part's muscle memory, make sure to get used to it. Hit the button, jump here, backtrack, one jump, wrap, one jump, and then jump and turn. There you go. Muscle memory jump, like that. Make sure you don't hit the wall. When I sit down, flick here. Make sure to avoid that wedge. Grab the corner of this and then just flick it to the slider. Go down, flick it here. Walk around and jump. Alright, this section on 4 is unsafe. You fail anywhere on 4, you're basically dead. Jump up here, wall jumps this truss. On the side, when I sit down, flick here. Align here, turn right, go in ghost mode, and then do a space and wrap like that. I like to just jump like this, where I climb the part like that. Walk around in, walk around, jump in. I mean, align like this, and then just walk with A. Switch to 60, align forwards on the cylinder like this, and then shift lock in midair like that. Go on this part here, and then just long jump. Jump into the lodge. Whenever I do lodges, I switch to 90 to make sure they're more smoother. Completely up to you though. I recommend you use 90 in lodges. Just jump up like that. Jump into this gap like that. Make sure your feet are like around here, like in the middle of the 2 studs. Turn right and then long jump like that. W and D like this. Line backwards onto this truss. And the way I do this is I flick out on the truss. I switch to 60, flick out, and then bounce off like that. jump to this part here, wrap here, jump to this truss, go on the side, switch to 60, bounce and W. Get back on the side. You're gonna straight flick here and then do a wrap on to that part, but you're gonna want to hold space on it, like that. And make sure to avoid that roof wedge like this by jumping out of it. Almost done with 4. I'll jump to this wedge. Go around the 4th stud right here and then jump straight out to the side. Make sure you're aligned like this and then wrap kind of tight around like that, but not too tight to the point where you hit your or you get interfered by the slanted part. For this, I climb the side, shift back, long jump. When I step down, turn left, flick with D like that. Align the middle, flick out like this, and then long jump and wrap. Simple jump like that. Editor, muscle memory. 2 stick outs. Switch to 60 as the number says. You're gonna want to go like this. Like that. Last part of 4. Gonna long jump to this wedge like that. Align backwards like this, and then turn like that. Align this far out. Jump to the cylinder. And then jump to here. Editor. Jump to the ladder. Glide on this 2-stud ledge. Align right with the slide of the stud. Tap W and D once, and then do down to momentum like that. Jump and wrap like that. Like I said with these parts, do not align on the edge, align right before it. So right here, and then long jump. Same thing, right here, long jump. Right here, a long jump. There you go. And flick on your way to 5. Which 5 is one of the hardest floors. So good luck when you get here, you're gonna need it. You fail anywhere on this floor, you are dead. Make sure to have this floor down. Long jump on this wrap like this. Another long jump. Long jump here. Same thing, like I said before, align and then wrap like that. When I step down, turn left, flick off like that. Align with this line of the stud, like this with W, and then jump straight out. Kind of align like till you get like popped out, like this, and then jump out and wrap like that. Line in the middle of the stud, do a backwards mortar on like that. Same thing, align with this line. This part's gonna be awkward, but this is how I usually do it. Align with the line, jump here, I step down, turn left, flick. You have more time than you think on this truss, but it's still kind of strict, so make sure you know what you're doing. Simple stick out, long jump to the ladder, straight flick like that. Adhere to the truss, switch to 60, bounce in like that. Alright, this is probably the most awkward part of the floor. Align far out, one jump onto this wedge. Try your best to land on the wedge, because sometimes if you land at the corner, you could get bounced off and could easily fall into an instant kill. So make sure to try your best to land on the wedge. Align like this. Turn until you get to around the stud line right around here. Go down to kind of like around here. Switch to 60, bounce in W and D. Line in the middle of the stud at the very top. Go smell like this, W and shift. Go right here, want to step down, flick and wrap. Jump to the truss. Switch to 60, bounce in W. Look around this truss, slowly but carefully. Until you get to around here. Switch to 60, bounce in W and A. Make sure to hold S and D while turning out, and then long jump with A and wrap. And then line straight, and then jump and wrap through the wall. You could also wait on that wedge too if you need more time. So, want to step down, flick and wrap the cylinder. Long jump into this lodge like this. I switch to 90, and then lodge carefully like this. When you're ready to get out, unshift lock, and then shift through like that. Align here. Click down once, wrap, but make sure to wrap a bit further out than you think because of this wedge. All right, the most awkward part of this tower, or rather on this floor. Yeah, the most awkward part, this. Try your best to just be at the very corner of this truss, and then start holding W and D and turn to this truss, like this. When you get to this, when you feel like you're about to land on the truss, stop holding W, like that. Flick to the very corner of this truss. Get ready to do W and D, but turn right to this truss, like that. And then you should be all set. If your torso appears too close to this truss, flick yourself out. That's another thing too. Or just reset up your position on this truss. So if it's like, say it's doing that, just reposition it like that. If it looks like it's too in, like, oh, this might be too in, just redo it. Nope. So just redo it. Or you can like turn like a little bit to try to push it out. And then, yeah. Flick your torso out like this. Go down to right here, 60, shift, bounce in. Make sure to hold W and A after you bounce off so that you grab the wedge part because you can get dropped. Align like this, turn right, and then there's just a strat like that. Align with this line of the stud. One step down, shift flick and wrap like that. I do a walk around jump with this one because it's kind of tight. Middle of the stud, long jump out. Make sure you're kind of high on that wedge when you do that. Like from the back wall, camera control like that. Long jump like this backwards to the truss. One step down, turn left, flick to this part, walk around jump, another walk around jump like that. Flick up, walk around jump to this truss like this. And then make sure you're around here. Shift lock your torso in like this. Have the bottom of the torso at the bottom of the truss, and then do down momentum like that. Align at the very bottom, W and A and jump. Space it through on 60. And then bounce off like this and D to the ladder. Go to very right, turn right a bit, straight flick. Jump onto the slanted part like this, and then jump straight off. And then long jump here. Almost done with 5. I like to 13 step strat this, like go around here, turn right, 13 step strat, and then camera control. Like that. Walk around jump. Grab around the wedge. Align on this part of the stud. One step down, turn left, straight flick like this, jump, and turn to truss like that. Flick up. Make sure to wrap this like that. Long jump to the wedge. And then backwards walk around jump like that. Last part of 5. You can either 13 step strat this from this part, or you can just long jump it from the corner. Completely up to you. Long jump here. Make sure to grab the truss like this. For this flick, I like to turn to the middle of the stud right here, like this, and then flick off with A, like that. Just straight flick off with A. Long jump to this part, and then jump here. You're on 6. Halfway through. Hopefully you don't fail to this floor, because this is a break floor, but any fail is still death on this floor, so make sure you're on your toes here, and make sure you're careful. Align in the middle of these 2 studs here, and then long jump and wrap close to the wedge, like that. Long jump to this corner of the truss, like this. One step down, turn left, straight flick off. Long jump to this part, jump here. Jump and lodge. I like to just lodge just to have a safety measure. For this, you're gonna wanna jump here, hit the wall, wrap through. So like this. Like that. For this, jump through the gap here, and then you can actually lodge here if you need more time. Just lodge here, and then shift back, wrap. Get ready to jump to the other part like this. And hold space. And then long jump. Line here, do a walk around jump to truss like that. Try to do it tight so it should get more distance. Turn right, straight flick off. Jump, align this well, through the gap like that. Camera control. I'll jump through. Almost done with 6 already. It's that short. Wrap here. Make sure at the top of the wedge and long jump up. Align this far out. Long jump to the truss here. If you want, you can grab the ledge here, shift back, and then wrap. Down to this bomb flick, turn like this, and then flick with off with W and D, and then switch to D. Line like this, wrap, and wrap here, like that, and then jump on the highest point. All right. And then this is a break, and you're basically on 7 at this point since it's net. Unless you hit the instant kills on the side, make sure not to do that. Click off like that, wrap, and then 4-7. Which is the last 4 before the net. And probably, and also definitely, most definitely, one of the hardest 4s. In my opinion, this is probably the 3rd hardest 4. I found 5 slightly harder. I don't know why. Anyways. 4-7. Align kind of around with these middle 2 studs, and then long jump and stick out. Same thing, middle 2 studs, flick out a bit, wrap. Make sure the S and D here, turn straight as much as you can. S and A a bit, long jump and wrap, long jump and wrap. Like I said, most of these jumps are gonna be muscle memory. Wrap to truss like that. Try to flick your torso out like this. Shift all through the gap. I switched to 90 for this part. You're gonna downwards momentum to do the part here, and then jump, and make sure you jump kind of tight to this wedge. It's higher than it looks. For this, grab this part of the wedge, align with the stud, turn to the middle, flick head here like that. Grab the ledge here, turn right, flick off like that. Same thing. Grab the ledge, turn. All right, this bounce. Hold W like this on the corner part until you grab the truss. Switch to 60. 2 downward taps like this, and then bounce off with D and turn. Works very well for me. You're gonna wrap around the cylinder here, and then wrap to this part. Make sure to hold space. You're gonna wrap to another one of these parts. Okay, for this, align on the very edge, but don't be in shift lock for this. Let your character turn when you long jump like this to the truss. That way it doesn't do that momentum bug. Want to step down, turn right, flick, make sure to hold space. Same thing, let your character turn and long jump. On the middle of these 2 studs, want to step back. Camera control through. Align with this line of stud. Long jump, make sure you get a boost. Jump here. I switched to 75 for this part. You want to go like this. Like that. And this is the second section of 7. You want to align your arm through the gap like this to the truss. Want to step down, turn left. Flick. Long jump to this part, make sure to hold space. Line at the very corner, same thing. Long jump like that. Wrap tight around the wedge. Middle of the stud, long jump and lodge. Make sure to do it carefully and shift out. Line at the very corner, long jump to truss like that. For this, want to step down, turn right, straight flick. Last section of 7. Align at the very edge. Stick out to this part. Align in the middle of the stud. Long jump. Caught myself. Long jump. Align in the middle of the stud. Flick out. Long jump. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen. My bad. Add to the cylinder. Turn right. Straight flick off. Jump to this truss. Want to step down, turn right, flick. Launch over this truss. For this, align with this line of the stud, turn right just a little bit, and then straight flick off. Make sure to lay time as well. Wrap around the wedge like that. Same thing, want to step down, turn right, flick. Align the middle of the stud, and then long jump. Floor 8. By far the easiest floor of this tower. There's literally barely any strats I need to show for this floor, but I will just go through it still. Flick through to this part like that. Jump here. Like literally most of these, most if not all of these jumps are fillers. So if you got in here in this far in this tower, you should surely be able to handle this without any issues. Literally just filler. This is a wall hop. Jump like that. Wrap. So we'll wrap here. Here. That's a gap. Here. Okay, for this, just grab the ledge here. Kind of around the middle of the neon. Turn to this part of the stud. Bouncing around. Here. Jump straight off. Switch to 60 again. Just bounce off. Not that bad. Middle of the stud. Flick out. Turn and wrap. Stick out. Jump here. Jump like that. Jump here. Jump here. Jump this part. X pusher. Then wrap around like that. Wait for this thing to appear again. Then hit the button. Backtrack. But over here. Jump here. Wrap with that. Jump off the sphere. Out to the truss. And then flick around the wall like that. You can also go like this. Really not the end of the world. Yeah, this floor is completely netted, so literally filler. Like that. Flick around. Like that. More filler gameplay. I'll jump like this. Jump here. Grab here. Go on the truss and then do uppers momentum like that with D. Almost a gap. Jump here. Wrap. Go backwards and wrap like that. Here. Here. On the truss. Straight flick and wrap. Flick here. I'll jump through. Last part of 8. Make sure to avoid these parts like that. Just careful. And then there you go. Alright, floor 9. We are almost done. From this point onwards, if you fail anything, you're basically back to 1. This is the easiest non-break for the tower. So from this point onwards, you fail anything, you're done. So make sure to be really focused from this point onwards. Jump here like that. I'll jump to this part. I'll jump here. Jump into this lodge. Lodge it through a bit and then shift out. I'll jump like this to the truss. Do a straight flick to this gap like that. Make sure not to jump up like too fast. Don't want to get bounced off by that ledge. Hit the wall. Jump through. For this, I like to just straight flick like this. Not that bad. Dance clip jump. Like that. Like grab. Not that bad. I'll jump here. Right here. Wedge. W jump. Like this. Make sure to hold it through the truss. Long jump and wrap. For this, you're going to land on that wedge over there after flicking. So like this. Yeah. I just normally do a straight flick like that. So, yeah. Jump to this part. Long jump to this ladder. For this, you can just straight up be in the very top left corner. You can just straight up be in the top left corner for this. Not that bad. It'll work in the real run, trust me. If you need to heal, though, you can literally just go in the gap. Like, if you do need to heal, you can just literally wait in the gap there, though. Completely up to you, though. Jump here. Jump to the ladder. For this, align with this line of the stud. Shifts near the wall, bounce momentum. Wrap here, jump here, wrap here, switch to 60, and then do a head hitter like that. Space it through. One jump here, wrap around the wall like that. Jump to the slider, like here. Jump to this truss. When I step down, turn left, flick. Dance clip jump like that. Jump on top. Wrap here. Jump up here. Jump to this truss. Be careful with this part. I like to get a boosted foot to this truss, switch to 60, and then just bounce into the gap like this. Like that, see? For this, I jump onto the part and then onto that platform, so like this. Make sure to hold space, and then long jump. Jump on this part here, like that. And go through. Almost done with 9. Align far out, shift onto the ladder. Press it down, flick. Long jump to the wedge. Long jump to the truss here like this. Yeah, make sure to turn into it because it's kind of sticking in just a little bit. So yeah. Long jump here, hold space. Like that. Jump to this truss. Flick here. Or, well, not flick, but flick around. That's what I meant. Sorry. One step down. Flick to this time truss, and then flick wrap like that. Jump to this part, jump out. Truss here, flick wrap. I'll jump here, jump here. Last jump here, make sure to set up this long jump pretty well, like that. And then you're on 10. The final floor. You gotta make sure you are locked in when you get to this floor. Make sure to control the nerves well, you will need it. Yeah, all I have to say is good luck with this floor. Align this far out of the truss, and then long jump to the wedge. Jump to the truss. Align this far out with the truss here, turn right a little bit, straight flick to the part. Flick from the back wedge, long jump here. Like I said before with these parts, don't be at the very edge, but right around here. And then long jump and stick out. One step down, turn left, flick like that. Straight flick. Head here on this side so you don't hit the insta-kill. Jump and lodge here. Switch to 60 for this while in the lodge. Go down the lodge slowly like this. W, shift to the truss, turn right a bit, bounce. Like that. Middle stud, flick out. Sorry, right here, flick out. Wrap like that. Launch up here. Second section. Get ready to do 2 jumps here. One jump here. One jump here. Align far out. One jump and turn into a truss like that. Align in the middle of the side here. Turn right a little bit. Straight flick and wrap like that. Kind of have like half your foot off, but half your foot on. Flick out. Shift to this line right here, and then do a wrap like that. One jump here, wrap. Yeah, that's just gonna be muscle memory, but that's how I set up that jump. It works pretty well. On the wedge, flick out, one jump into the lodge, switch to 90. Make sure to lodge it as best you can. Go like this, shift it through, like that. Line the line, turn left, straight flick. Third section. On jump to the slider, like this. Go here. One step down. Shift flick here, turn left, bounce to the part. Whoopsies, hold on. Try that again. There we go, much better. Yeah, you want to be kind of high on that truss before you bounce. Oh yeah, just if you're wondering, I had 4 410 fills before beating this. I'll let you know where my PB is. Align like this in ghost mode, on jump to the truss. Flick around, be careful of the bomb flick though. For this, like W and D onto this side, so you run right here. have your bottom of your torso kind of near the bottom, like where the intersection is, and then just flick and wrap like that. Long jump here. Same thing with this, lay time into the wall. You want to really lay time into it, it's kind of far. And then go through. Make sure to turn right a little bit so that you grab the truss because it's sticking in a bit. Want to step down, turn right. No jump. Simple walk like this. Let's grab this, turn right. Shift like that. Just 60, walk around. Go backwards like this, W. For this, I use the tower quite devious strat. Kind of have like the bottom of your torso around here. Turn right, shift it like that. Let's grab this, shift with D. On the middle of the stud. Go down to right around here. Turn right, and like that, straight flick. Align in like the middle of the stud. Turn to this right line, A. Let's grab this, shift it through with W and A like that. Like this, shift it with D. Let's grab here, turn left, D and shift, and then lodge. Make sure to lodge it through like this. Make sure you're as straight as you can like this with this indicate part, and then A. Turn left, and then D through. Let's grab this, make sure your torso's in so that you get a boost like this. Shift to D. Align with like this line here, like this. Go as low as right around here with the intersection. Turn right just a little bit, not too much, otherwise you'll get a bug. You'll get bugged out. And shift. Grab the ledge and shift. Last section of the tower. If you need a break, this is your time to do it. Otherwise, be prepared. Align like this, walk around, jump to the truss. Like that. Align this line to stud, turn left, straight flick. Back of the wall, flick out, one jump like this. I kind of like to have my cursor in the middle of the stud right here of the wall. Get ready to do a long jump and wrap. Whoopsies, hold on. Middle of the stud, kind of like right over here. There we go. Much better, yeah. You want to make sure you get like a long jump off. Just make sure you're not too far off the edge, otherwise you will not get like, you might have a chance of momentum loss, so. Yeah. Be really careful. Start tapping with W until you hit this line, and then do a walk around jump to the wedge like that. Or the wedge part. Hit the wall and back. Go through with the wrap. Hit the wall again. Another wrap. Align at the very edge like this. One jump and wrap. Middle of this back stud of the wall. Go out to the left on the wedge. One jump through. You're gonna head hitter up and then do a walk on jump and just lodge like this. Like that. Lodge it through. For this, go on this slanted part here. Want to step down. Flick with ghost mode like that into the lodge and then lodge it through. You can also go like, you can also do it like this if you want. Completely up to you. Long jump and wrap. Line in the middle of the stud here. Wrap like that. Like this, sideways head hitter. Jump here. This is my PB jump before beating it. Grab the ledge here. Make sure to align with like this line of the stud. Turn right a little bit. Like kind of to this corner. And then just A and shift in ghost mode. Like that. Long jump from the corner like this. Close to the wedge. Same strat as I've always said. Align right around here. Do a stick out. Line right here. Long jump. Right here. Stick out. 13 stud strat this if you want. Like that. Middle of these two studs. Turn left to the line. Jump through. Filler jumps. Make sure not to choke. Middle of the stud. Flick down just a bit and then jump like that. Get ready to do a dance clip jump into the turn, like this. And then last jump of the tower, I'm gonna have to, I can't exactly land it, but you wanna do something like this. and then like that. You should fit through the gap, and then you land on the winning part. So yeah, that is ToDTO. That is ToDTO, my most recent horrific I've beaten so far. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you still have questions about certain jumps of this tower, let me know in the comments or in my Discord. And yeah, hopefully this helps. I'll see you in the next one.